Budget insurance. Affordable because you can't afford not to.
Hello and welcome to the review of the Porsche 718 Spyder. The roof comes down eventually. Okay, let's get the basic specs of the Porsche 718 Spyder out the way. You have 309 kilowatts, 420 Newton meters of torque. Apparently I'm supposed to tell you horsepower figures, but I don't know horsepower. I've grown up with kilowatts my whole life. The engine in the back, well, it's in the middle. Most Porsches have engines at the back. This is in the middle. It comes from a 911. Now that's a 3-liter turbo, so what they do is they take off the turbos and then they bore it out from 3 liters to 4 liters. The stroke stays the same. So what you get is a 4-liter naturally aspirated flat 6 that revs to 8,000 RPM. 8,000 RPM. All good engines rev to 8,000 RPM. It's just a fact. I don't want to say it, but it's probably better than a 911 engine. This is my favorite engine, probably at the moment, in the world. It's brilliant. I love a naturally aspirated engine. You have to work to get the best out of them, and that's one of the best things about driving, is having to work to get your rewards. It's not like a turbocharged engine with all your power is at like 1,500 RPM and all your kicks come immediately and then they taper off. With the naturally aspirated engine, especially one that revs to 8,000, you're constantly working the gearbox, working the revs, figuring out how late you can brake and how early you can get on the throttle and whether you've done the best job of cornering that you can do. You have an option for the 6-speed manual, which you would have seen in Chiro's review of the Cayman GT4. This has a PDK, a 7-speed PDK, which is actually faster to 100 by half a second. So 0 to 100 in this is 3.9 seconds. Clearly and easily the fastest gearbox I've ever driven. This thing is blitzvinnig. Is that enough? That's an Afrikaans. I just used Afrikaans. I didn't even speak it. It is blitz quick. Now, I probably need to tell you a little bit about the interior. We'll get to the roof later. This is a little bit of the sort of older style Porsche interior. You've got 2 analog dials and 1 digital. The digital can be made to display whatever you want, really. You got a fairly old looking touchscreen. Navigation isn't installed on this one. Apple CarPlay is available, but not Android Auto. So it's relatively old school in here. You've got like all the button fest. Those of you that have seen the Taycan review will know that everything is now in the touchscreen. But this has got all of your buttons here. You've got buttons for putting up the wing. What else? I've got Sport PDK to make the unbelievably fast shifts even faster, and it'll just hold on to gears a bit longer as well. I've got buttons for traction control off and stability control off. Let's do some driving stuff, since that's the important stuff. Let's knock that across into manual. Let's turn on the exhausts. And we'll put some suspension buttons on. Right, wind it up. It's quick. Oh, the brakes are amazing in this car. It's so stable because it's mid-engine. It's so balanced. The front end is so direct. It really responds to the steering inputs. But as you move into the corner, you're almost worried through all of my history of other cars that the back is going to come out, because it feels so sharp and so so immediate, but because it's mid-engined and all the balance is in the central point, you can feel that the car doesn't move from the front to the middle to the back. It all sort of shifts from a center line around you. It's like the whole car moves as one. It's a really great feeling, actually. It feels solid together. It responds so quickly to inputs, man. It's brilliant. Let me paint a picture for you, right? You've just come through your favorite pass, you've set a PR, you're now the lap record holder for that pass in your Porsche. You've drawn a crowd, fans are here to see you, you want to put the roof down because it's a beautiful day in the least embarrassing way possible. So let's give it a go. It is a faff. Firstly, there's a button inside that needs to be pressed. That unclips the roof mostly. Now I think you sort of fold this back a little bit. No, you don't do that. There's a button somewhere in here which unlatches that. This thing goes back in here. Now you got to go all the way around and do the same on the other side. The button unclips, turn it back in. You're looking cool, don't worry, you're looking real cool here. Now I think the boot needs to open up so we can put the roof away somewhere. Yep. We're looking cool, we're looking cool. Okay, that goes in there. Looks all right. Then let's close the boot. Down. Right, then these things need to come down. I'm going to do the same on the other side there. Bang, roof down. The crowd thinks you're amazing. And away we go. Now I'm going to tell you why this is the best Porsche you can buy at the moment. Maybe ever. Because anyone who's ever written a review on a Porsche will tell you that the GT3 is the best Porsche. And underneath here, you have a GT3. All the chassis, all the suspension developments, everything in here comes from a GT3. But you're not paying GT3 prices. A GT3 is close to 3 million Rand. This is 1.75 million Rand. And at half the price, you get everything you'd ever want from a GT3. All the handling, all the natural aspiration, all the great steering feel, dynamism, everything. You're getting it in a 718. And it's smaller. All of the other cars in the range are huge. The 718 is what a sports car should be. To be fair though, you don't actually need to buy a 718 Spyder and have the finicky roof. You can just go for a standard Boxster GTS. Same engine, less dynamic chassis, a little bit less power, but then you have a fully collapsible roof and you don't need to go through all the fuss. And it's 200,000 Rand cheaper. That's a tough choice to make. I don't know, maybe this is the car if you do a lot of track days and a lot of dynamic driving. It's the car that you want. I think if you're just going to do exclusive road driving, maybe the GTS is then the better choice. I don't know whether you'll do enough fast-paced driving to actually notice the difference between the two. But right now, I'm quite enjoying how much power I have at my disposal and the absolute best chassis that Porsche can afford me on what's clearly the greatest road in the world.
So you've just watched one of our Cars.co.za videos, but did you know that we have over 500 car reviews, races and other assorted types of videos on our YouTube channel? So head over there. I'm almost certain you'll find something that you like. definitely. I believe you will.
Budget insurance. Affordable because you can't afford not to.